Welcome to the Lights Out Podcast. This is Chris Lights Out Lytle, and this is our journey to document the history of mixed martial arts. I've brought with me my friend, the MMA detective Mike Davis, and together we will preserve the history and hear some great stories from the world in the era of the no-holds-barred. Thank you and enjoy.
Back with the legend known as Babalu. This is the Lights Out Podcast. I am the MMA detective, Babalu. Let's start with the plugs, brother. Let's get your gym out of the way again.
Okay. What's the first question? Your
gym. Why don't we give a plug to your gym?
Okay. So I have my gym in Cerritos, California. It's been 15 years this year. And being developed a great program here with Jiu-Jitsu. Being changed kids' lives here, been changed. Been helping the community here in Cerritos. And actually in the ABC district. The whole ABC district that my gyms are belong to. We have some, ABC means Artesia, Cerritos, and Norwalk area. So this area that I've been teaching all those three cities, get great results and good response. The city is being very happy to have me there. And I'm happy to be in Cerritos. So, been 15 years. So, is anybody else want to bring your kids, want to start training Jiu-Jitsu or Muay Thai, jump on the journey, the martial arts, I invite you to come. And so, if you want to check my website, it's babalubjj.com. So, you can schedule into a class and participate in training.
Excellent. So, on our end, please like, share, subscribe. There's a few people that really go out of their way. Mike Crane. There's a guy on Reddit, 6 Demon Bag. Those guys go way out of their way to share our stuff, and it's greatly appreciated. Babalu, we are going to start this one hot. We're going to talk about Hector Lombard, a former training partner of yours.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, there was a rumor that, I'm not going to say there's a rumor. It's pretty much confirmed that he is a bit of a bully in the gym. And the story is that you had enough of what was taking place and you ended up fighting him in the gym.
No, but I mean, it was just a heating argument that you have, you know. I'm not agree with the way he trained with a new students. And I mean, I train one speed though, you know. So I just trained normally, and he got upset with me because he thought I was trying to go after him, but I wasn't. I was just training hard, you know. And there wasn't an argument and stuff. It just, like I said, you know, I trained hard. Anyone else, and I think he didn't agree the way I was training with him. Probably, I don't know. I don't remember though. It was a while ago. So. There's something like there was training, and he's training with some new student. I mean, I trained with me, and I thought I was going too hard or something like this. I don't know.
Who cares? It didn't bother you at all.
It's been a while. Huh?
It didn't bother you at all.
No, I mean, it's been a while though. I don't remember very well this story. So, but. I don't have anything against Hector. You know, he does his way. So
okay. UFC 13, Tank Abbott, Hugo Duarte.
Yeah.
Were you there for that?
No, I wasn't there, but I helped Hugo to train to compete against Tank.
Was it difficult watching somebody you admire fight Tank and lose against him?
Yeah, it was hard to see, but Hugo had a better. I think won the fight. I think he tried to shoot, and he has a big sprain on his hamstring on the fight day. Actually, he came back with all purple here on the back of his leg. And when you have a sprain on the hamstring, they can put you down in the fight. So I think that's what happened. And he got beat up pretty bad.
Right. Allan Góes opened up a gym right down the street from Hugo Duarte in the Jiu-Jitsu Luta Livre. big rivalry. Do you remember that taking place?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't
Hugo
remember.
wanted to, him and Tadao wanted to kill him.
Yeah, but I don't remember that. 1 second. I'll be back. 1 second. I'll be back.
So take your time. Take your time.
Yes.
On May 4, 2001, UFC 31, your teammate Pedro Rizzo fought Randy Couture for the first time. Randy Couture, although he had his hand raised in it at the end of the fight, Pedro Rizzo looked as if he was robbed of a decision.
It was a very controversial decision, though, I think. The fight was pretty even.
So the third round, Pedro Rizzo is about to finish Randy Couture, and he's really stepping on the gas, and Randy's fading. Big John McCarthy says, stop, let the doctor look at the cuts on Randy. When they open up the cage door for the doctor to check, Dan Henderson, Randy Couture's corner, comes in, kneels underneath the doctor, and brings Couture down to the mat and gives him probably another 45 seconds of instruction and breathing. That was hard for me, man. That was hard for me to watch.
Yeah, that was hard. Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is, you know, when you have to fight somebody else's game. I mean, all Brazilians, we always have this in mind, on your mindset, you know. And it's funny because you say we created a sport, but then you handed it over to Americans, and then the Americans now have this sport, the UFC, they have their own rules. No, that's the rules. And we try to when the person make the game and they own the ball, you have to do whatever you can do to win to win the championship, you know. So that's the UFC rules. So we were very bummed about it, that situation, but we knew this could happen, you know. You know, it's somebody else, somebody else game. So you have to take the king. So if you want to have the crown, pretty much. But the fight was very close. Yeah, we spent a whole month training in Las Vegas for the fight. UFC didn't have this big facility they have today. I remember UFC had an office in Sahara. That's why you used to train. You used to go there down on the it wasn't that facility that we trained.
Do you remember
stay on 1 month at Station Casino, because they owned by UFC. No, that was a good memory though.
Do you remember the talk in the locker room after the fight with Pedro?
No, I don't. It's been a long time. But we are very together with Pedro, you know. Pedro brought big crew to train with him in Las Vegas at that time.
I'm trying to get Pedro.
10 people. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to get Pedro to join us next Monday. He and I've done an interview before. It went phenomenal. And he's an amazing guy, man. Like, he's a great person.
Pedro is an amazing guy, very wise and smart. If you get him together with him, I think probably gonna help each other to remember a lot of things. You know, I was talking to my friend too about that. So why you don't write a book? So for me to be able to write in a book, I have to be able to have somebody else, you know, that can interview to talk with me. Because it's hard to, as you talk with me, I kind of revisit some memories, you know, that I have been visiting a long time. And when I have a friend, they bring a couple events, they kind of, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I don't think that was wrong. Man, that's right. Kind of help you to remember stuff. You know, you can try to revisit your past.
Your history is so unique because every fight there's something bizarre. Like in our last episode, you had to have a Russian police officer corner you because you lost your passport and then you spent your nights in their holding facility like this. And that's crazy. And when you fought in Cage Rage, November 27, 2004, you fought a French kickboxer, our Muay Thai champion, Cyrille Diabate. Cyrille Diabate was a stud.
He was, I mean, that fight, I finished the fight without throwing a single punch.
Guillotine.
Yes. So it was that fight, I think, when I went back to Gracie Barra and start training, and then I sit down and realize, what the jiu-jitsu could do for me, regardless of my training. This is why I just moved to Gracie Barra, or didn't have a lot of fights inside Gracie Barra. So I decided I heard one thing that Renzo Gracie said on an interview. Renzo Gracie said something like, the fight they make more money is the one they go inside the gym and finish the fight as fast as possible without getting injury. And then, but how can I do this? Just take the person down and try to finish the fight. So if you have a fight, you have the same fighters. We make $15,000. If you spend 15 minutes inside the cage, you exchange punchings. And if I go in the cage and you finish the fight in 2 minutes without exchange punch, I make more money than you. So faster and cleaner. Because in a shorter time, I can finish the fight without putting myself in risk. So that's what I realized, though. And I try to find a couple good submissions that I can finish the fight. Go over there instead of just try to knock somebody out or try to take the fight to a decision win the fight by decision as a dominated. I decide to finish the fights and finish the fights with jiu-jitsu. I decided to train a lot of jiu-jitsu. I focus myself in submissions. And then after that event, I had the taste of the submission. So that's why after that fight, I started finishing the fights more often.
What were your thoughts on Joe Moreira?
What about Joe Moreira?
What were your thoughts about him as an instructor?
As a Joe Moreira?
Yeah.
Joe Moreira is an old school black belt fighter, though. He's a great instructor.
He gave Marco Ruas his black belt in jiu-jitsu.
I don't know. I never trained with Marco Gi. I never trained jiu-jitsu with him. I bet he knows. I mean, if he got his black belt from Joe Moreira, he deserves it.
So Joe Moreira gives Marco Ruas a black belt. Carlson Gracie is so outraged that Marco Ruas has a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He said he changed his belts to dark blue. Carlson and Marco, they used to always have, I'm not going to say issues. That's not, they used to have heated conversations, but also with the mutual respect.
Yeah, I mean, there's rivalry in the back of the day. I think there are rival healthy rivals. They're in the past. And for Carlson to acknowledge this, that means he's acknowledged that Marco is a good fighter. And same as Marco, he's acknowledged Carlson Gracie's power. He's acknowledged Carlson Gracie as a challenger. As a school wise, as a team member wise. So, and I can give anybody as a black belt. The person being a black belt is totally different. So, you being a black belt, and I can come here and see somebody else in the studio and say, "Hey, come here, I'm gonna give you a black belt." It doesn't make the person a black belt. It's like those guys that went to storm the White House, right? And sit down on a Congress chair, and they think they didn't make it there president. They didn't make anybody, If I go to the White House and invade the White House and get inside on the round table, whatever, and sit down behind, doesn't make me a president of America.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
For sure. Did you ever have a grappling match with Marcelo Garcia?
Yes, I did. Dude, that was a tough match. It was a tournament that you compete in Brazil. I won my two first fights, and I compete against him in the last fight. Dude, he was so slick. I tried to go to his back, but in the meantime, he went to my back. Then he tried to submit me. I escaped. Then I went to a knee bar. I popped his knee, and he never tapped. And he won the fight because he went to my back. We're 4-0. Yeah, that was a good match.
Was it the absolute?
Yes.
I think he performed best in the absolute division.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know why, but that's right. I like tournaments though. I kind of grow in tournaments.
You trained with King Mo back in the day, and on more than one occasion, King Mo said that he absolutely did not want to fight you. What were those training sessions like?
We train. It's kind of hard though, man. Those days, people train together and fight. And I come from the back old school that we are team members, and then when you're a team member, then you train with the person, you sweat the person, you cry with the person. I mean, when I train, I train hard. I give it all to inside the mat. I give it to my partners too. If you need help, I go there. No, I used to go there, not anymore. I used to go there. I used to train. I used to put my body inside the cage, for example, to have somebody else to get ready for the fight, just for the pleasure to help the other person, for nothing back, pretty much. And that's created some type of friendship that the money sometimes they cannot break it. When you have a guy with honorable thoughts, and we kind of go on the same page. And I guess King Mo think the same way that I do. If you train, I will never fight him too either.
Yeah. After you beat Pierre Goulet in Cage Rage, you left Marco and went and lived in Brazil and trained with Gracie Barra. Was that a difficult conversation to have with Marco?
Yes, that was it. That was a very hard conversation. I left Gracie. I left Marco Ruas. Wasn't my decision itself. I mean, it was my decision, but they have sponsorships. I had some sponsorships. They want to sponsor Marco's team. They want Marco's whole camp, and they talked to Marco. And Marco at that time, I think the guys they want to sponsor us, but they want to manage us as well. So the guy wants to pay us a salary, but he wants to ride over our. No, if you fight instead, you pay Marco, you're gonna pay him. No, as a management. So Marco didn't agree with this. So we ended up have to choose without, or you move to another team and I keep sponsoring you, or no more sponsorship money and you keep training with Marco. And that time, no, I just got married here in the United States. I came back to Brazil. I had no job. My job was fine, always been. I have no job. I have no money. I was broke, and I had to pay my rent. So I had to keep the salary, and I had to make the decision to call Marco and say, Marco, this is what happened. This is going down. He said, you take whatever is better for you. But doesn't necessarily agree that he's agreed with my decision, but he respects my decision. Then Then that's what happened. Then we left. So it wasn't because I want to leave. That's because I had to leave, because I had to support my family. And this other guy, Gracie Barra, the manager on Gracie Barra was waiting for me over there, Carlos Malta, and received me. He received our team very well, and he makes sure make us comfortable inside Gracie Barra, because we were stepping on a hostile environment at the time, because Gracie Barra was hostile environment for us. And the manager over there, Carlos Malta, he helped me very much to acclimate, to make me comfortable. And he made sure that I could have the best coach for training. So at that time, Gracie Barra as a head coach over there was Professor Roberto Gordo. He's another person also that made me feel very comfortable inside Gracie Barra. He taught me a lot about jiu-jitsu, and he let me be myself, be free. He didn't try to show that he is the boss. He just like, okay, you come here, whatever you do, let's try to make. And that was a hard situation, because I have the best training on Marco Ruas camp. Great conditioning coach, great wrestling coach, great training partners, everything. So in most Gracie Barra, I have myself, a couple guys, and we hired this Cuban coach also, Alejo Morales, a wrestling coach that made a lot of difference also, the whole team, and myself, my career. So that time I put together wrestling, jiu-jitsu like I never did. So yeah, there was a couple of years of my life that really made a difference in my life.
I will say your game really stepped up at this time too, because your finishes, I would say if there's a peak in your career, it's probably right around this time, because you're fighting and finishing. And to your credit, you had the conversation with Marco to his face. You had the conversation about leaving with Marco to his face.
No, Marco, I was in Brazil. Marcos was here. I had to talk to him, call him.
Some people wouldn't even make that phone call.
Yeah, that's right. No, but it was a hard decision though. It was when I went back to Brazil, it was hard already, because I left Marco here, in school, and I had to go back to Brazil because I have some family issues as well. Yeah, but I think it's like I think it's like when your daughter tell you that she's gonna get married. Probably that's how you feel. So, you feel okay, you're gonna get married, but I accept, but I still don't like your husband. Right. So, something like this. Yeah, it's okay, but it's kind of hard. That's kind of the feeling.
So you're finishing a lot of people. You go back to the UFC, April 16th, 2005. A guy that is got wrestling credentials just as long as that of yourself, Travis Wiuff, is your opponent. And you made quick work of him.
Yeah, that was a good fight. Yeah, he was well known about the fight. They finished the person's on. He grabbed the person, picked him up, and slammed down on the floor and knocked people down on the triangle. So I knew he was gonna do this to me. So I worked my fight so he can get in the triangle. The time he's trying to lift me up, I switched to armbar. So my plan was like I thought.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah. Absolute beautiful transition. You go up against Chael Sonnen again. Chael, I guess, convinces the UFC that he actually won the first time. You deserve a rematch. And, because he won, but, you beat him 2 out of 2 times. And we begin with another triangle. Have you seen Chael within the last few years?
Yeah, he's a nice guy though. We have a good relationship, me and Chael. Yeah, he's a very smart and wise. He won the brightest MMA mind they have in those days. You know, the way he talk is very clarified. The way he talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike Van Arsdale also on the Olympic ladder. Like you're getting a who's who of just high end wrestlers. Like you got Travis View, Chael Sonnen, Mike Van Arsdale. Mike Van Arsdale is people sleep on him because he was a little bit older when he was in the UFC. His wrestling's legit.
Oh yeah, he I saw him fought in New York in Brazil on a tournament IVC. He was a badass dude and highlight takedowns. No, the takedown he does have. No, that's beautiful, and I knew that I have to work on submission as well. So I work in the half guard position, like my professor taught me, Gordo. So I moved to it. I ran the half guard. I moved and went to his back, then I submission the fight, and the rear naked choke.
Around this time, also, you have a wrestling match with Antoine Jaude.
Yeah,
he wins his 12th Brazilian wrestling title, but this one was a little bit controversial. Many thought you had won.
Yeah, because there was an Olympic trial. That was Olympic trial in Brazil, and Olympic sports in Brazil have a lot of politics.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere, man.
Everywhere, yes. So I was kind of tired over the politics that I have to kiss people's butts to be. No, I have to do this to be able to do that. But like, fuck it, you know. Just gonna do my way, and then I went there, and then I won the I won my spot for the Olympic Games for the tryouts. But I let it go. I said, okay, I win, but okay, I let it go because I was done. I was like, I don't want to do anything for the federation anymore because to just bumping heads. I was like, fuck that shit. No, I don't want politics to involve. Then I become a full professional fighter. That was my last amateur fight.
So they're wrestling bout, and Antoine, you guys became teammates later on.
Yeah, you've always been teammates. We all been teammates in Brazilian wrestling. But when I left Marco Ruas, he became my opponent.
I thought you guys trained together in MMA.
Yeah, we trained together, Marco Ruas. When I left Gracie Barra, he became my number one opponent.
Okay. I understand. Okay, so they give him you won the match, but they give him the nod in order for him to compete with the Olympics.
And also he was my friend, and Antoine, he only wrestled though. He only wrestled, you know. And I had professional fights, and I have fights too. I was going to Olympic game wasn't my dream. It was just a thing, you know. It wasn't my dream. So it was his dream, not my dream.
So at this point in your career, you're on a 10-fight win streak. What I think, and with like a 90% finish rate, which is insane. What I think people fail to understand is with your rematch with Chuck Liddell, at the time, like when Tito Ortiz was champion, if you look at his opponents as compared to Chuck Liddell, who was not champion, it almost seemed that Chuck always had the harder fights in order to protect Tito.
Yes, you remember that?
Yes.
He was the gatekeeper.
But he fought all the hard fights.
Okay, he was the gatekeeper from Tito. He was the gatekeeper. People that had a chance to beat Tito has to fight Chuck before. But it's a totally different style. You see what I'm saying? And Chuck protect Tito for a while.
Well, and let's go through it. Like Ortiz beats Wanderlei Silva. Now we can all say, wow, Wanderlei Silva was a savage. That's a really incredible win. At this time, this is like pre-steroids, Wanderlei Silva, and he's 185 pounds. So it's a very small Wanderlei Silva. Then he beats Yuki Kondo, another 185-pound fighter in 205. Evan Tanner, legit win. Elvis Sinosek, there's some question marks there. Matt Yanchenko, Ken Shamrock, Couture. At that same time, Liddell is fighting Jeff Monson, heavyweight, stud, Abu Dhabi winner. Kevin Randleman, one of the greatest collegiate wrestlers ever, heavyweight. Guy Mezger, he was, Guy Mezger's, he's a tough opponent.
He is tough.
Yeah. Murillo Bustamante, Amar Suluev, Vitor Belfort, yourself, and Randy Couture. Like, that's the exact same time frame. There's not even a close comparison in regards to talent there.
Yeah.
What were you guys saying behind the scenes at this point?
Well, like Tito Ortiz was just the clown, the UFC pick at the time to have as a champ, And Chuck wasn't the personality. Chuck is a good personality, but Chuck is not a clown. I think UFC likes to have a clown sometime. Sometimes they have to like a clown to make noises though. And Tito was the perfect clown at the time.
It's just plain as day that he was like a paper champion at this time as compared to what Chuck did.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And that was like the one guy you had issues with, Chuck Liddell.
Yes.
Was there ever an opportunity for you and Tito to fight? Was there negotiations ever?
No, never did. In affliction, after my last fight, I was supposed to fight him, but I think he went back to UFC or something. I don't know. I don't remember very well. There was an affliction, though. An affliction, he almost had a chance.
It's just a bad matchup for him. It was a bad matchup.
I think he knew it.
I think clear as plain as day. You also worked out with Pe De Pano for the Liddell fight.
Yes, that's right. That's right. It's nothing. It's totally different. Training. It was a wrong training though. No, particularly don't take me wrong. Pe De Pano is pretty good, but I didn't have any training partners to make to train at that night. By the way, that's what they making my decisions to move to the United States. Because on this event, I was training, try to fight in Brazil. And back in the day, we didn't have a training camp, we didn't have a training partners, or we didn't pay for partners to train with you. Didn't have a camp. This doesn't happen because we didn't have that amount of money. We didn't make $100,000 for a fight. We made a couple $1,000, so we didn't have money to pay people to train with me. Training partners, coaches. We have some money, almost none, and we have to train. We have to be your friends. So, and I was about to have people to train with me for the fight, but my camp disappeared. Nobody came to train, so I have almost nobody to train with me, and I was lacking of training. I was lack of people to train because people wasn't very commit. I don't know. People wasn't commit to train, so I had to run a lot and do a lot of lifting. I had to jump camp to here and there to find a train because people wasn't very serious in Brazil. So I decided to move to the United States because of that. So,
did you go back with Marco?
No, I went back here to United States to find some place to train. When I come back to United States, my first training camp that I found here wasn't with Erik Paulson.
That's where you ran into Hector Lombard then.
That's
Erik
correct.
Paulson.
Yes. Yeah, I moved to United States. So I trained in Jiu-Jitsu against Barra, but MMA camp, MMA training team, I was training with Erik Paulson. It's the only one they have in Southern California. They have a training for that, for MMA.
What were your experiences like with Erik as an instructor?
Erik is a tremendous guy, great personality, great guy. He has a lot of knowledge, and he's a long-time friend. And never never complain about anything. Always there, help me out on training. A very helpful person.
Wow. You also rolled with Josh Barnett there. You guys kind of formed a friendship as well.
Yes. Josh is a great guy, Savage training. I like to train with Josh. Yes, savage training, He's not mean. Like he's not mean. Mean is, I mean, he's mean. He's not. He's not. He's fair. Fair. That's the word. Fair. Fair play. He's fair play guy. Fair play guys. I think that's what it is. Fair play guy.
So when we interviewed Hector Lombard, he wouldn't give any names, but he would say Josh was a bully, and he would make the other students buy him lunch, wash his cars, and he took a stand. He took a stand for the kids, and because of that, he was asked to leave the gym, or he couldn't go back to the gym.
I think he's awesome.
So you had a good experience with him.
I think the most people should be less sensitive. They should fucking just take it. It's an honor to train Josh. People complain like, "Oh, you guy beat me up, make me clean his car." Fucking do it. You fucking train with the guy that's a legend. You gotta beat up for a guy like Josh. You should fucking be happy, and fucking take the beat.
Man, it depends on how bad you want it. I mean,
right? Well, if you want to be good, you have to fight. You have to be good, though. You can't just. I have a lot of in those days. People are too soft. I trained this guy. This guy's too strong. I don't like it. He wants to hurt me. And then I changed for different camp. All this coach asked me to do this. I don't think it's fair. Just those day mindset. People doesn't take whatever it takes to be a champion. That's the right.
So Muhammad Ali went and worked out with Archie Moore. Archie Moore used to make him clean toilets. That's it. That's what you got to do. I mean, if you're no matter who you are, you've got to put the work in. Absolutely. You also donated your fight shorts to you donated your fight shorts to the Ryan Bennett Memorial after this fight. After the Liddell fight. It's incredible, man. Like, that guy lost in a car accident, had a couple young kids. You have a world title fight. You come up on a short end, and you still gave, man. It didn't affect who you were as a person.
No, it didn't at all. No, I think this is so cool. Yeah, I like to help people though. But when I help somebody else, that I promote somebody else or I help somebody else, not a help anymore. It's just a self-promotion.
No,
that's what I try to help.
Okay. The reason I know that is because it was an online auction, and you never mentioned anything about it whatsoever, but your shorts were up there and people were bidding on it. And I thought it was awesome. You never one time ever mentioned it, which is good. That's what you're supposed to do. That is charity. Jason Lambert, were you a little sick before this fight?
Yeah, I was a little sick before this fight, but doesn't take his credit. He beat me. That's clean. I never, like I said, one fight I win because I broke my hand. I broke my hand, then I still won the fight. Credit. I lost the fight, but I was sick. The credit is the opponent. I decided to step there. I decided to put myself to fight. So no skills, zero skills. He beat me.
I heard that you had 102-degree fever at weigh-ins.
Yeah, but I don't like to talk about this. No, yeah, because they make it that I don't want to. Guy fought me. He beat me. It's just clear. I was just what it is. If I was on the street, it would be that. So, yeah.
Is what it is, right?
Yes, it is what it is.
Chris Lytle's the same exact way. He refuses to talk about injuries before fight, especially when he lost. In 2007, you actually grappled Frank Mir in a tournament.
Uh-huh.
The rumor was that you had him mounted. You reversed and mounted him.
No, he hasn't been a cycle in half guard. I reversed and I mounted. Then I won by points.
And then you won by points.
Yes.
Yeah. That's incredible. Well, you got 2 losses in a row right now. It's July of 2007, and you're in Tampa partying.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember what took place that weekend?
They got arrested?
You got arrested. Yes.
Yes, I got arrested that day by mistake. Yeah. I did something that I was supposed to do.
You fought a couple bouncers.
No, I didn't fight. I wasn't in a fight. I didn't punch anybody. I just spit a bubble gum on the person. Like this. And you get, oh, this is cute, man. It's assault. It is.
Wow. Well, that came into play with your next fight against David Heath, August 25th, 2007. It was at UFC 74. He shows up at weigh-ins with your mugshot on his T-shirt.
Yes. It's funny. But it's funny because I didn't even realize that. I didn't even thought that he has my mugshot in his shirt. I just hear he said, I'm going to kill tomorrow, motherfucker. When he said that, I said, well, just turn me on. And that was it.
So in that fight, David Heath goes by the Headhunter, training out of Oklahoma, the Absolute Combat Alliance. You held on to the choke a little too long. And ladies and gentlemen, I think if you guys watch one of Babalu's fights, Brad Kohler should be number 1. This is number 2. This is one of the bloodiest fights in UFC history.
Yes, that was. Mazagari didn't stop the fight. I think they were going to stop it, but he didn't. Then I keep punching in the strike. Yeah. So I let my emotions talk too much on that fight. That's what the thing.
Well, first and foremost, in regards to the blood, imagine just chunks of coagulated blood falling out of somebody's head. So it's not like smearing on the ring. It's already kind of clotted up, and it's just like chunks of blood falling out. It was everywhere, and Mazzagatti had no concern in regards to having a doctor check it. I think where your issue is at the end, when you held onto the choke and you put him to sleep, it really wasn't that bad. There's many, many worse instances of people holding on to it. Your issue is, I did it on purpose. He said he was going to kill me, motherfucker, and I put him to sleep as a lesson. He needs to learn a lesson. And you're correct. But the problem is,
I learned a lesson. You shouldn't fucking say anything. I learned my lesson. I was teaching a lesson, then I learned my lesson.
I think if you don't say anything, I think you're okay. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. I mean, I learned a lot in that fight, I learned a lot. Was the win, but I learned a lot. Was the win and lose at the same time.
Well, they took half your purse, so they took $25,000 from you.
They fired me. They
fired
suspended
you.
me.
Kevin Ioli from Yahoo Sports was like one of the people in the campaign to hurt you, make sure you get the most amount of harm possible.
Yeah.
Kevin.
It's easy when you're just a reporter and sitting behind your keyboard. Just try to attack people. That's easy though.
I refer to him as Dana White's friend that happens to be a reporter. I think it's more him typing what Dana is asking him to write.
Yeah, probably.
That's exactly it. It's exactly
because he has to have a reason to do what he did.
On the Scott Farrell show, you called Joe Rogan an idiot, and you would fight him for free.
but he's talking bad too. All those guys was talking bad though. I got upset and I said a couple of things, but no, I don't fight in the reporter. This is don't let the reporter talk. No, that's what they do the best.
Yeah, no, for sure. Do you remember fighting in the Philippines for the Platinum Fighting Productions, Rennie Glumder?
That was a good event, great event too.
It was Platinum Fighting Productions, December 9th, 2007. I know a lot of people didn't get paid at this fight.
Really? I didn't get paid and didn't get paid well.
You did get paid.
Yeah, and well.
Wow.
I'm lucky though.
Did you think that Armando Garcia was targeting you? Do you think the California State Athletic Commissioner may have had you in his crosshairs?
Maybe. No, like I said, like you said, they have some forbidden wires behind him. No. Yes. He was behind him.
I agree. Let me go through some of your teammates. You trained with Verdun when he was training to fight Fedor.
Yes.
What was that training camp like with him?
Fuck, it was great because I had one fight 1 week before with Rob Lawler, and he supposed to fight 1 week after my fight. So you both training on the same vibe, same environment. You want to win, and I want to help him. He wants to help me, and we have a good training partners. We have Vladimir Marsuchenko, Fabricio, Betega. Sometimes, some good guys came to train. I just don't remember the names here. But that was amazing to see Fabricio win the event. Their fights against Fedor was the top emotions that I felt in my career. Yeah.
He cracked the code. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that's the way. That's how I felt. We cracked the code. Yes. I think that was you don't want to try to be someone for years. And Fabricio just did.
But in regards to training partners mimicking Fedor, you couldn't have been a better fit for him.
Yeah, I guess so. I fought Fedor though. Kind of knew what Fedor doing. I trained him. I saw Fedor after I fought Fedor. I saw Fedor a couple of times. He was on my radar as well. And Fabricio had a chance. He took it.
Training with Chemo Leopoldo.
That was fun too. He was a fun man to train with. Fun person to be around.
Did you ever train with Joe Son at all?
Who?
Joe Son.
Joe Son, no.
Okay.
I don't think so.
What about Master Rafiel Cordero?
Yes, Rafael. Yeah, Rafael moved to US 2007, maybe. I don't know when it was that. 2008, 2007, and I was trained. in Affliction. I think I fight in Affliction already. When Rafael moved to the United States, and he opened a gym first in Huntington, then he moved his gym to the warehouse, Affliction warehouse, and we had a great trainers there. And Rafael accomplished a lot of my career as well. We become a good friends, and we've been friends since then.
What about Robert Emerson?
Emerson, yeah, he's trained with me too. No, he's trained with Marco. Emerson's a character.
Justin Fortune, a boxing coach.
My boxing coach. Yeah, he's all the way from Hollywood. I had to drive. I'm training for him twice a week. But great boxer, great coach. He's a Pacquiao conditioning coach.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a great experience that I have, Justin. He's still my friend until those days. We go hanging out sometimes.
Did you notice that there isn't many jiu-jitsu guys on Marco Ruas' fight resume?
To fight against Marco? To fight against Marco?
If you look at all of his opponents, there's very few jiu-jitsu guys.
Yes, Marco's. I think people doesn't want to put in risk, compete to fight against Marco. Marco, yeah. When you fight, especially back in the days, if you, it was the disadvantage for the person that didn't know jiu-jitsu was graded. So if I knew jiu-jitsu, if the other person didn't know jiu-jitsu, the confidence level went off the roof. I knew that whatever the person is gonna do, I'm gonna take the person down. I'm gonna finish. And this was the back in the days. But Mark was different. Okay, it was different person because it wouldn't be so easy to take down. I don't think we'll finish him if I get on the floor. If you have to stay strike with him, it's mostly I'm gonna get hurt. That's the thought to fight Marco.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Amaury Bitech?
Great fighter too. Great opponent. Didn't have very much luck to fight MMA. And yeah, that's what it was.
He's underappreciated. That's a bad motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
What about Joe Silva?
The matchmaker?
Yes.
Yeah. Dana White Muppets.
Did he ever talk to you in a way maybe that he shouldn't have?
I don't know. I don't remember. He's just a Muppet. I don't even know what this guy is. This guy left UFC that totally disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We get people on our show all the time shitting all over him, so I like to bring him up.
So you have some guy, dude, like they work for the UFC. They have one guy that I never thought this is gonna happen to him, Burton. He was call the fighters in the UFC. He was the character, the guy in the UFC, and they kick him out because something that he said that people doesn't agree with. Second, I don't know. I don't like the way they work though, but I don't have to like it, right?
No, for sure. Did you ever think that Don Frye would fight Marco Ruas? Were there ever negotiations in regards to that?
Don Frye trained with Marco Ruas. I don't think Don Frye would fight Marco Ruas, but probably, if they make the fight happen in Japan, they wouldn't. That would be a great fight though.
How was those training sessions?
Marco Ruas is a killer, dude. Marco Ruas is a killer.
Wow. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm tracking down. I've been talking with Pedro Rizzo. We're going to try to get together next Monday, and we're going to do an all-out Ruas Vale Tudo Luta Livre conversation. And
great. That would be great. Ooh, that would be great. That would be the epic.
With you and Pedro. Okay?
Yeah.
So we're going to continue this next week. I know I only have 1 hour with you. Babalu, you're an absolute legend. I sincerely appreciate your time. Thank you
very much. Thank you very much.
You're good, brother. Always a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Check out the full interview on iTunes, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms.